I've had to carry that on because it ended because I wasn't checking what time it was. But yeah, it's a lot. This is one of the cheapest ones in this episode, if not the cheapest. I think it's not as cheap as the Silverado, but it drives overall better. So if you want one for more the crew style circuit missions, pick this over the Silverado. So we've got Corvette at number 1. This, then I'd say the Celine, then the Silverado, then the Viper. Right, in fact we're getting close to the end now. Now you'll have seen this in the Project Cars trailers for any of you Project Cars fans. McLaren MP4 GT3 car. Now this is a winner obviously in the GT3 Championship. Now it is one where you kind of have to get the line right. It's nimble like the BMW, so it's really nimble, but this one, it's a bit like the next car coming up. You can corner around that corner without easing as long as you get the line right. Whilst the Corvette's the only car I've never known where you don't really have to get the line perfect to not have to ease. This one feels heavy for a GT3 car, but it's definitely one of the quicker accelerating cars, and obviously in my opinion it has one of the best steering wheels, where being a proper F1 style steering wheel. It's probably, what would I say, how would I rival it to it? At the moment this is really high. It's got 1,000 performance rating, so it is quite high up compared to the previous ones. This though, it's good. In fact you get it free for the season pass, so it's an amazing car for what it is. It's one of the better looking ones, the cooler ones, but it doesn't seem to change much once you upgrade it. The only thing that happens really is that it accelerates better and becomes lighter. That's all that really happens when you upgrade it. So no top speed really increases, so it kind of makes it better to go around places like this. But it isn't really worth the time with this car. I really enjoy this car. In fact, I'm going to put this over the BMW number 3 because it's an enjoyable car to drive. The only reason it's not going any higher is because once you upgrade it, it doesn't really change that much. The only real difference you notice is it begins to corner a lot quicker and easier and accelerate quicker. That's really about it. There's no real major difference. So Corvette's still number 1. Corvette Zadar 1. And then you have, what did I put second? Oh dear, this is. Oh, I then say, well, I'm gonna have to go get my thing up. Forgot. Right, so that's. I don't know. We'll review the next car and we'll review our final car. Then we'll give our final verdict. Now, obviously, this one is the C-Class Coupe AMG DTM car. It says touring car, but it's a DTM car. DTM is the German touring cars. It's Summitwagen, Tourenwagen, which is German. It is German touring cars. That's what DTM stands for. Deutsch Tourenwagen or something like that, I think it is. Now, for this car, again, that's quite a cool. It's a very weird thing. It looks like your hands could slip off. It's so easy, this car, but obviously it's got a Mercedes logo. Now with this car, its perk isn't its top speed or its acceleration. In fact, this is the second highest car I've got for my circuits, and I think my second highest car overall. Now it brakes really well. The brakes are really good. In fact, you don't actually have to lift off much and it'll drop quite a lot. It's very, it's the best car to start with, because once you get it out of the circuit dealership, I think it's the best car to get out and drive straight away, and then it'd be the Corvette. But this one, again, it corners like all the other circuit cars. It just doesn't seem to, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be as amazing, surprisingly amazing at cornering as that Corvette. But I will put this car at number 2. What should I say, number 2? Yeah, I will put this at number 2 mainly because number 2. I'm thinking about it. I'll think about it while I go through the list. Now, last place was the Dodge Viper SRT10, being very disappointing for a genuine circuit car that's within the game. Our next car is the Celine. It's one of the best sounding, one of the quickest accelerating, but for really tight tracks, because it's heavy, it's not advisable. This is really more for wide, empty roads. It's not for nimble city street roads, because you've got to have an overall car, and you need really wide roads to drive this one. It's really impractical. Number 3rd from last place, I can't remember how many I've done, is the Ford GT. Obviously, it's really good for a circuit car, but it's just, it's nimbleness and stuff. I can imagine it's a doable car as a circuit car, but because it's heavy and stuff, it's not advisable at all. Well, it is compared to the Celine. It's better at Celine at street circuit, but the Celine is better at some things. So I would say they're kind of drawn. Now the next one is surprisingly the BMW Z4 S-Drive. I will put, it's probably one of the best, cheapest cars to start with, but I don't know, I don't enjoy it as much as the other circuit cars. It's not the best looking of the circuit cars, and I don't know, it's very practical. If you'd say the most practical circuit car on the list, I would say this all the way, because it's cheap and it's really good. But if you have a couple of million in game to spare, it's not. There's a lot of better cars available. Now the next one is obviously the Nissan Silverado. This is so high up, not because of its driving, as it is one of the heaviest, but it's the fun. It's so fun to drive. I wouldn't advise really using it on on the sort of circuit missions the crew offers, because obviously they're for more of the GT cars. Maybe if you upgrade it and it gets lighter, then I might advise using it. But this car's so fun. I underestimated it. I never thought it'd be as fun as it is to drive. It's really fun to drive, and it's cheap, so I would highly advise it. It's the cheapest car on this list as far as I know. It's not as the overall best package for price like the Z4 is, but for sheer enjoyment and cheap enjoyment for a really fun, reliable circuit car, this really is the key. It's just so much fun. Now the next one is the McLaren G12C GT3, or well, MP4 12C. Mainly because it accelerates quick. It feels like a race car on how quick it accelerates. The cockpit looks like an F1 car, which is really cool. It's probably one of the more high-tech, better looking cars. I have upgraded this quite a bit, but this is really fun and cool to drive. It was my first circuit car, so I have bonded it with a bit. It's a really fun package to drive, as I've said, and it's fun with the Silverado. It has like almost very similar elements of fun from the Silverado, but obviously it's lighter, accelerates quicker, and has a more of an overall Grand Prix track package than a NASCAR package. And then I'll put this second. I normally really love this. It's one of the most nimble ones. It corners quickly. It's a really fun package for DLC, but round some of the fast sweeping corners it can lack a bit. Like there, you have to get the line perfect, but apart from that, there's not many faults with this circuit car. It's one of the, in fact, it's one of the best in the game, and if you got the season pass or you haven't and you wanted to pick a car from the speed pack, pick this car. It's by far the best car out of the entire speed pack. It's absolutely amazing. It really is. It's the best car in the speed pack, and it's not many faults about it. The only sad thing is it's not the best at going round high speed corners, which leaves us to our number one circuit car of this episode that is real life, is the Chevrolet Corvette. I literally had this yesterday, but it is amazing. It's so amazing. I can see this car. It's the most expensive circuit car to date I've bought. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a lot of the 300,000 race cars in the next episode, like the Bentleys and Lambos, but it accelerates quicker, and I can just imagine it accelerating quicker when we upgrade it. The brakes are livable. Okay, maybe so it wheel spins a bit setting off, but it corners amazing. It's like the nimblest car ever. It's like it drives how I like to drive. It's like, and as well as if you're the sort of person who occasionally makes a mistake, it won't punish you on some of the corners where you think you'll be punished, and it just looks awesome. It definitely feels like a proper race car you should be seeing going around the crew, because a few of the European ones don't really look right driving around in the USA, whilst this just looks and feels at home, obviously, since it is American. But it's the reason this one's higher than the SC class is because of this. It corners quicker. Look at this. Right, he's off, turn back in, and I've still made the corner. I let go of the stick and pulled back in. I turned twice and I made that corner without easing off. If you did that in the other cars, you'd have to ease off. So this car is really good. It's just grips phenomenal, and it's just the best car today that I've tested. Thank you all for watching on my circuit reviews. I hope you enjoy testing these circuit cars. Let me know what you think your favourites are. There'll be more coming, things from the Nissan GTR to the Lambos to the Bentley. There's a few to come, so if you have a spare 500, it's around 400,000 to 500,000. If you have a spare, it's really expensive. It's one of the most expensive almost, I think, but it's by far just so much fun to drive, and it has lights for any of the night drivers. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Please give a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode. Bye.